I'm Staff Sergeant Courtney Kargel. I'm from Fort Myers, Florida.
Seeking better direction in her life, Sergeant Kargel joined the Army and discovered that her job in military intelligence would become a mission with personal meaning. After 1 year of college, Courtney Kargel decided she needed to reevaluate her career path.
One of the reasons why I left is I really need to do something for myself to become independent. So I went and talked to my recruiter.
After achieving high test scores, her recruiter suggested that she go into the intelligence field.
Kind of told me, hey, you're very, very smart. You can see the big picture of things, and how would you like to do that, to take all these little details and put it into something bigger? I don't know if he just says that to everybody, but it really sold me.
A tough break gave Staff Sergeant Kargel nearly twice the experience in basic training than most soldiers receive.
I went through 4 weeks of basic training and I broke my heel bone because of the severity of the injury. It was 5 months until it fully healed, and then I had to go back to basic training. Instead of waiting until the 4-week mark, I went back to the beginning of week 2. So I basically went through the first half, the worst half of basic training twice.
After graduating AIT, Staff Sergeant Kargel was given the MOS of 35 Fox All-Source Intelligence Analyst. In 2010, after her second deployment, she was sent to the 4th Brigade 4th ID at Fort Carson, Colorado.
I reported the Brigade S2 shop, and they told me that I was going to 112 Infantry, which is not a place that women used to be assigned. But my company commander and first sergeant were extremely welcoming, and by the time we went to Afghanistan in March of 2012, they were my family. More than any other unit that I've ever had, they were my family.
Stationed at Fob Bostik in the Kunar province of Afghanistan, Staff Sergeant Kargel's unit fell victim to a green-on-blue incident.
In May of 2012, we had a green-on-blue incident, which is when an Afghan security force individual fire upon or attack U.S. forces. One of our platoon leaders was killed, and then the platoon sergeant was severely injured and ended up having to get medevaced out of the country. The individual that conducted the attack ended up fleeing the base and was welcomed by the Taliban that were prominent in that area.
From that moment, Staff Sergeant Kargel made it a personal mission to bring the attacker to justice.
The platoon sergeant was medevaced out because of his injuries. He was actually a very close personal friend. He called me and he said, hey, just get the guy. That I was like, okay, this is my personal mission. If we get no other targets, if I can get this one guy, that was my goal.
Trying to find the person responsible for the attack was not easy.
From a targeting perspective, this guy, he was brand new. We didn't have any information on him. We had to start with human collections, kind of building this packet, and once we got a good amount of human reporting, we were able to justify getting some SIGINT collection in the area, and that SIGINT collection ended up adding him onto our high-value target list.
After months of sifting through the intel that was coming in, Sergeant Kargel found the person she was looking for.
The month that we were transitioning our base out, we ended up getting the guy that was responsible for the green-on-blue. At that point, I'm like, wow, I actually physically had an impact on what is happening in this area. There is a bad guy that is gone, that was responsible for the death of someone that I was friends with, that I knew. Now he's gonna be gone, he's never gonna be able to do that to another person. I never thought when I was at Fort Huachuca as a private Kargel that I was going to be able to really have an impact on someone else's life like that.
Being an integral part of the team that brought justice to an enemy assailant responsible for the casualty of a close friend was a rewarding end to Sergeant Kargel's time in Afghanistan.
That feeling is overwhelming. It's worth the 10 years that I spent in the Army. If I never have that feeling again, those moments during deployment really made my military career.